What really hid behind the tragic life of Aretha Franklin? Aretha Franklin, known as the Queen of Soul, own powerful and emotive voice resonated with audiences worldwide, making her a cultural icon. However, beneath the surface of her fame lay a life marked by unspoken struggles and personal tragedies. Don't miss this video, as we will reveal the full tragedy that Aretha went through throughout her life. Let's get started. Aretha Franklin was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and spent her early years growing up in Detroit, Michigan. Her journey through life took her to several significant locations in the United States. In the 1960s, Franklin made a pivotal move to New York City, where she resided for several years. This period in the Big Apple marked a crucial phase in her career as she became one of the most iconic figures in the music industry. However, in the mid-1970s, she decided to relocate to Los Angeles, California. Her time in Los Angeles was significant, and she eventually settled in the neighborhood of Encino, which is located in the San Fernando Valley. Franklin called Encino her home for a period that extended until 1982. At that point, she made another important decision to return to her roots in Detroit, specifically the suburb of Bloomfield Hills. Her return was motivated by the desire to be close to her ailing father and her siblings. This marked a touching chapter in her personal life, showcasing her commitment to family. Even after returning to Bloomfield Hills, Aretha Franklin maintained a residence there until her passing. Her connection to Detroit remained a central part of her life, and it was a place that held deep sentimental value for her. In 1984, there was an incident that significantly impacted Franklin's life. She cited a fear of flying as a result of this incident, which ultimately prevented her from traveling overseas. As a result, she limited her performances to North America, demonstrating her unwavering dedication to her craft and fans within her home continent. It's worth noting that throughout her life, Aretha Franklin was a devout Baptist. Her faith played an essential role in her life and had a significant influence on her music and public persona. Her powerful gospel-infused vocals reflected her deep spiritual connection, making her not only the Queen of Soul but also a beloved figure in the world of gospel music. Aretha Franklin was the mother of 4 sons, and her life story included several noteworthy events related to her motherhood. She had her first child when she was just 12 years old, becoming a mother at a very young age. Her first son, Clarence, was born on January 28, 1955, and he was named after her father. Interestingly, in a handwritten will discovered in 2019, Aretha Franklin disclosed that the father of her first child was Edward Jordan. 2 years later, on August 31, 1957, at the age of 15, Aretha gave birth to her second child, Edward Jerome Franklin, and Edward Jordan was once again identified as the father. It's worth noting that Aretha Franklin preferred not to discuss these early pregnancies in interviews. Both of these children took on her family name. During the time when Aretha was working on building her singing career and socializing with friends, her grandmother Rachel and her sister Irma took turns in raising her children. Aretha maintained close contact with her children despite her busy schedule. Her third child, Ted White Jr., was born in February 1964, and he is known professionally as Teddy Richards. He played a significant role in his mother's music career by providing guitar backing for her band during live concerts. Teddy's father was Theodore Ted White, who was Aretha's husband at the time. Aretha's youngest son, Kekhoff Cunningham, was born in April 1970. Kekhoff is the child of her road manager, Ken Cunningham. Aretha Franklin's life was marked by her remarkable music career and the challenges of early motherhood, and her 4 sons played different roles in her life and her journey as an iconic artist. Aretha Franklin's marital life was characterized by 2 marriages. Her first marriage was to Ted White, which took place in 1961 when she was just 18 years old. Interestingly, she had first met Ted White at a party hosted at her house in 1954, long before they tied the knot. However, their marriage was far from harmonious. It was marked by significant turbulence and instances of domestic abuse. This tumultuous relationship eventually led to Franklin's decision to separate from Ted White in 1968, and their divorce was finalized in 1969, marking the end of their union. After her challenging first marriage, Aretha Franklin decided to give love another chance. She married actor Glyn Turman on April 11, 1978, at her father's church. This union not only made her Glyn Turman's wife, but also a stepmother to his 3 children from a previous relationship. Their marriage seemed to be a fresh start for Aretha. However, things took a different turn, and the couple separated in 1982 when Franklin returned to Michigan from California. Eventually, they went through a divorce in 1984. Aretha Franklin's 2 marriages were characterized by contrasting experiences, with her first marked by adversity and her second offering hope for a more stable and happy life before it, too, came to an end. Aretha Franklin's family was deeply intertwined with her music career, and several of her siblings played crucial roles in her life and work. Her sisters, Irma and Carolyn, were professional musicians who lent their voices as background vocalists on many of Franklin's recordings. This collaboration created a strong musical bond within the family. Following Aretha Franklin's divorce from Ted White, her brother Cecil stepped into the role of her manager. He took on this responsibility and continued to manage her career until his unfortunate passing on December 26, 1989, due to lung cancer. Cecil's dedication to his sister's career was a significant part of Aretha's professional life. Tragically, the Franklin family experienced several losses over the years. Carolyn, one of Aretha's sisters, passed away in April 1988 after battling breast cancer. Irma, her eldest sister, also faced a health challenge and lost her life to throat cancer in September 2002. Additionally, her half-brother Vaughn passed away in late 2002, adding to the family's sorrow. Aretha Franklin had a half-sister named Carol Ellen Kelly, who was born to C.L. Franklin, Aretha's father, and Mildred Jennings. It's noted that C.L. Franklin, Aretha's father, was described as unorthodox on every level and had engaged in inappropriate relationships with preteen congregants during his time as a pastor at New Salem Baptist Church in Memphis. This revelation adds a layer of complexity to the family history. In 1979, while Aretha Franklin was performing at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, a distressing incident occurred in her personal life. Her father, C.L. Franklin, was the victim of a violent attack when he was shot twice at point-blank range in his Detroit home. This tragic event shook the family to its core. Following the attack, C.L. Franklin was in a coma for 6 months, and he received medical care at Henry Ford Hospital. Despite the grave situation, he eventually was moved back to his home, where he required 24-hour nursing care. This marked a challenging period for the family, and it prompted Aretha to make significant life changes. In late 1982, Aretha decided to return to her hometown of Detroit to provide assistance in caring for her ailing father. She was committed to supporting him during this difficult time. Sadly, C.L. Franklin passed away on July 27, 1984, while at Detroit's New Light Nursing Home. Amidst the personal trials in her life, Aretha Franklin had a deep and enduring friendship with Willie Wilkerson, a Vietnam War veteran and Detroit firefighter. Wilkerson not only supported her in her professional work, but also cared for her during periods of illness. In 2012, there was news of Aretha Franklin's plans to marry Willie Wilkerson, and the engagement was announced with much excitement. However, the engagement was abruptly called off, highlighting the twists and turns in her personal life and relationships. Aretha Franklin had strong connections in the music industry, counting renowned figures like Dionne Warwick, Mavis Staples, and Cissy Houston among her friends. These artists began their singing careers as members of the Sweet Inspirations, a group that often provided background vocals for Franklin's songs. Cissy Houston, in particular, lent her vocal talents to one of Franklin's hits, Ain't No Way. It's important to note that Aretha Franklin had a special bond with Cissy's daughter, Whitney Houston, dating back to the early 1970s. Although she wasn't Whitney's godmother, she held a distinct place in her heart as an honorary aunt. Whitney affectionately referred to her as Auntie Ree. A poignant moment in their relationship occurred when Aretha had to cancel her plans to perform at Whitney Houston's memorial service on February 18, 2012, due to a leg spasm. This emphasized the deep connection they shared and the impact Aretha had on Whitney's life and career. In the realm of politics, Aretha Franklin was a registered Democrat. She held strong political affiliations and actively supported the Democratic Party. Regarding her financial situation, while her estate had been previously estimated to be worth around $80 million, a report by the New York Times indicated that, at the time of her passing, her estate was valued at $18 million. This reflects the changing dynamics of her financial portfolio over time. Aretha Franklin faced a series of health challenges throughout her life, including weight issues and a history of smoking and alcoholism. In 1974, she embarked on a very low-calorie diet and successfully shed 40 pounds, 18 kilos, maintaining her new weight throughout the remainder of the 1970s. Her dedication to this lifestyle change was evident in her ability to keep the weight off. However, in the early 1990s, Aretha Franklin once again tackled weight loss but experienced some fluctuations, eventually gaining back some of the weight. She was also a former chain smoker and had struggled with alcoholism. In 1992, she made the crucial decision to quit smoking, acknowledging the impact it had on her voice. This was a significant step in her journey towards better health. She openly admitted in 1994 that her smoking habit had been detrimental to her voice, but after quitting, she found herself facing weight gain in 2003. This highlights the complexities of managing her health, both in terms of weight and her habits. In 2010, Aretha Franklin canceled a number of concerts due to a surgical procedure she underwent to address an undisclosed tumor. She discussed the surgery in 2011 and quoted her doctor as saying it would add 15 to 20 years to her life. She firmly denied that her ailment was related to pancreatic cancer, as had been reported. She emphasized her right to privacy regarding her health, stating, "I don't have to talk about my health with anybody other than my doctors. The problem has been resolved." After the surgery, Aretha Franklin impressively lost 85 pounds, although she firmly denied undergoing weight loss surgery. On May 19, 2011, she made a triumphant return to the stage with a comeback show at the Chicago Theater, marking a significant milestone in her journey to better health and her enduring commitment to her music. In May 2013, Aretha Franklin faced a series of concert cancellations due to undisclosed medical treatment. These cancellations persisted throughout the summer and fall of that year, leading to growing concern among her fans and the public. By late August 2013, Aretha Franklin provided an update on her condition during a phone interview with the Associated Press. She mentioned that she had experienced what she described as a miraculous recovery from her undisclosed illness. However, she still had to cancel some shows and public appearances until her health reached 100%. At that time, she estimated that she was approximately 85% healed, signifying significant progress in her recovery. Aretha Franklin eventually made her return to live performing, including a special 2013 Christmas concert at Detroit's Motor City Casino Hotel. Her triumphant return was marked by a multi-city tour in mid-2014, commencing with a performance on June 14th at the iconic Radio City Music Hall in New York. In February 2017, Aretha Franklin disclosed in an interview with Detroit television anchor Evrod Cassimy that 2017 would be her final year of touring. She made this announcement implying her impending retirement from live performances. However, it's worth noting that she had initially scheduled some concert dates for 2018. Still, based on the advice of her physician, these dates were ultimately canceled, and it marked a significant shift in her career and health as she moved into a new phase of her life. On August 13, 2018, reports emerged that Aretha Franklin was critically ill at her residence in Riverfront Towers, Detroit. She was placed under hospice care and was surrounded by friends and family during her final moments. Several notable figures, including Stevie Wonder, Jesse Jackson, and her former husband Glyn Turman, came to visit her on her deathbed, underscoring the deep respect and affection she held in their lives. Tragically, Aretha Franklin passed away at her home on August 16, 2018, at the age of 76. Her death marked the end of an era in the music world and left a profound void in the hearts of her fans and admirers. Initially, it was believed that Aretha Franklin had not left behind a will, which added some complexity to her estate matters. The cause of her passing was identified as a malignant pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor, PNET, which is distinct from the more common form of pancreatic cancer. Her death underscored the severity of this illness and its impact on her life. The news of Aretha Franklin's passing led to an outpouring of tributes from numerous celebrities in the entertainment industry and politicians. Former U.S. President Barack Obama, in his tribute, noted that Aretha had helped define the American experience through her music and activism. Civil rights activist and minister Al Sharpton described her as a civil rights and humanitarian icon, emphasizing her significant contributions beyond her musical talents. Her legacy continues to live on through her profound influence on American culture and her timeless music. The passing of Aretha Franklin was marked by a series of events that paid tribute to the Queen of Soul and celebrated her enduring legacy. A memorial service took place at her home church, New Bethel Baptist Church, on August 19th, providing an intimate setting for her loved ones and the community to remember her life and contributions. Following this, thousands of people from all walks of life paid their respects during a public lying in repose at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. This was a significant moment for fans to say their farewells to the iconic singer. The main Homegoing service, held on August 31st at the Greater Grace Temple in Detroit, was a grand and solemn event. It featured multiple tributes from celebrities, politicians, friends, and family members. The service was widely broadcast, allowing people from all over the world to participate and honor Aretha's memory. Various news agencies, including Fox News, CNN, The Word Network, BET, and MSNBC, streamed the service. At Aretha Franklin's request, the eulogy was delivered by Reverend Jasper Williams, Jr. of Salem Baptist Church in Atlanta. He had also eulogized her father and spoken at other family memorials. However, Williams's eulogy drew criticism for being described as a political address, and for making remarks such as comparing children growing up in homes without fathers to abortion after birth, and addressing issues of violence within the African American community. Aretha's nephew Vaughn expressed dissatisfaction, noting that the eulogy did not properly eulogize her. Following the service, there was a telecast procession up 7 Mile Road, and Aretha Franklin was laid to rest at Woodlawn Cemetery in Detroit. This final resting place honored the legacy of a remarkable artist whose contributions to music and culture were celebrated in a grand and diverse memorial. After Aretha Franklin's passing, her devoted fans created unofficial tributes at 2 New York City subway stations, Franklin Street in Manhattan, served by the 1 train, and Franklin Avenue in Brooklyn, served by the C&S trains. Both stations had originally been named after different individuals. Although these unofficial tributes were eventually removed, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, which oversees the subway system, took a significant step to honor Aretha by installing permanent black and white stickers with the word "Respect" alongside the Franklin station signs. This simple yet powerful gesture served as a lasting homage to the Queen of Soul and her iconic song. Furthermore, during the American Music Awards on October 9, 2018, a touching tribute was paid to Aretha Franklin. The show concluded with an all-star ensemble featuring Gladys Knight, Donnie McClurkin, Ledisi, Cece Winans, and Mary Mary. Together, they performed gospel songs, including renditions from Aretha Franklin's 1972 album, Amazing Grace. This heartfelt musical tribute celebrated Aretha's profound impact on the world of music and her enduring legacy as a gospel and soul legend. On January 13, 2019, a remarkable tribute concert titled Aretha, a Grammy Celebration for the Queen of Soul, was orchestrated as a joint effort between CBS and the Recording Academy. The grand event took place at the iconic Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. The objective was to honor the legendary Aretha Franklin, the undisputed Queen of Soul. The star-studded concert featured a dazzling array of performances by some of the music industry's brightest stars. The lineup included such luminaries as Smokey Robinson, Janelle Monáe, Alicia Keys, John Legend, Kelly Clarkson, Celine Dion, Alessia Cara, Patti LaBelle, Jennifer Hudson, Chloe X. Halle, H.E.R., SZA, Brandi Carlile, Yolanda Adams, and Shirley Caesar. Each artist paid their respects and celebrated the incredible legacy of Aretha Franklin with soulful renditions of her timeless classics. The entire concert was meticulously recorded for television broadcast, and it subsequently aired on March 10th, allowing fans around the world to share in the celebration. But the tribute didn't end there. The 61st Annual Grammy Awards also paid homage to the incomparable Aretha Franklin. The ceremony concluded with a moving memorial tribute that honored her remarkable life and career. The tribute culminated with a heartfelt rendition of her iconic 1968 hit, "A Natural Woman, You Make Me Feel Like." This emotional performance featured the talents of Fantasia Barrino Taylor, Andra Day, and Yolanda Adams, who poured their hearts into the song to pay their respects to the Queen of Soul. Fast forward to June 2023, and another remarkable tribute to Aretha Franklin took place, this time in Australia. Aretha, a love letter to the Queen of Soul, made its debut at the renowned Sydney Opera House before heading to Brisbane and Melbourne. The musical was directed and narrated by Australian playwright, actor, and screenwriter Jada Alberts. The production featured an ensemble of talented artists, including Emma Donovan, Montagna, Thandi Phoenix, Thundo, and Ursula Jovic, all accompanied by a 9-piece band. This heartfelt musical served as a tribute to the enduring legacy of Aretha Franklin and allowed Australian audiences to experience the magic of her music and the impact of her artistry. The production was a moving celebration of the Queen of Soul and her profound influence on the world of music. One thing you might not know about Aretha Franklin's activities outside of entertainment. Aretha Franklin's involvement in the struggle for civil rights and women's rights spanned her entire life, shaped by her upbringing in the home of a prominent African-American preacher. Her dedication to these causes went beyond her incredible musical talent. Throughout her life, Aretha Franklin provided financial support to civil rights groups, even going so far as to cover payroll expenses when needed. She also lent her remarkable voice to numerous benefit events and protests, using her platform to amplify the voices of those fighting for justice. In 1970, when activist Angela Davis was imprisoned, Franklin's unwavering support was evident when she declared in Jet magazine, "Angela Davis must go free. Black people will be free." Franklin spoke from personal experience, having been arrested for disturbing the peace in Detroit. She understood the need to disturb the peace when one cannot find any peace, emphasizing the harsh reality of life in jail. She pledged to work for Angela Davis's freedom, not because she was a believer in communism, but because she was a black woman advocating for freedom for black people. Two of Aretha Franklin's most iconic songs, Respect and You Make Me Feel Like, "A Natural Woman," became anthems for the civil rights and women's rights movements. These songs not only entertained but also empowered and inspired those advocating for social change. In 2017, during President Donald Trump's inauguration, Franklin was part of a mass act of musical protest when she and several other American icons declined to perform. This act was a statement against the policies and values associated with the new administration, underlining her commitment to social justice. Beyond civil and women's rights, Franklin was a staunch supporter of Native American rights. She quietly and without seeking fanfare lent her support to indigenous peoples' struggles worldwide and various movements advocating for Native American and First Nation cultural rights. Her commitment to justice was not confined to a specific group, but extended to various underrepresented communities, making her a symbol of empowerment, unity, and social change. What do you think about the life and tragedies that Aretha Franklin went through? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.